in today's video, I'm showcasing a team of Poliwrath, Snorlax, and Gengar. Gengar does so much damage with Shadow Ball that it can one-shot almost all of the Pokemon in Ultra League Premier Cup. It is an absolute beast, and it takes control of every game where your opponent has 0 shields and you have at least 1, because then Shadow Ball just crushes through everything. I hope you enjoy this video. So, in the first game, I met with a Charizard with Wing Attack, actually. So, that's not that good since it does super effective damage to me. But guess what? My Poliwrath is rocking Hydro Pump, and nobody suspects that, and it absolutely demolishes that Charizard. They bring out a Swampert, and I pull the trigger on a Dynamic Punch. They don't shield it, and they store up a lot of energy. I'm not going to shield this. It's a Hydro Cannon, doesn't knock me out, but they went for back-to-back Hydro Cannons, so I'm not going to shield any of this. And then I'm going to come in with Snorlax and not Gengar because they do have shields. Then out comes a Feraligatr. I immediately switch it to Gengar. I go for the Shadow Ball, and they think it's a bait and they don't shield. And this is my biggest mistake and what cost me the match. I shielded this Hydro Cannon. I really shouldn't have, and I should have saved it for Snorlax, because then Swampert had a Hydro Cannon already ready, and Gengar couldn't do anything. So, full health Snorlax with no shields versus very low health Swampert with 2 shields. Do you think you know who wins? Well, unfortunately, it's the Swampert. The energy gain is extremely fast, and my opponent went to a Hydro Cannon and an Earthquake and just barely survived and took my Snorlax out. So I shouldn't really have shielded the Gengar there, but it's fine. Anyways, in the second match, and my opponent has starting with a Magnezone, so I can deal super effective damage to Magnezone, but Magnezone also deals super effective damage to Poliwrath. So they shield the first Dynamic Punch, and then I shield this, suspecting Wild Charge, but it's actually a Mirror Shot. Then I switch into Snorlax, and we're not going to shield this, and they actually go for another Mirror Shot, so good call by me. And then another move, and it is a Wild Charge. I don't shield it, and then they switch into Charizard. So this would have been great if my Poliwrath was lined up with this. So I'm not going to shield any of these moves that the Charizard throws at my Snorlax, because I know that Poliwrath has Hydro Pump, and they probably don't know that. I go for the Hydro Pump, and since nobody suspects a Poliwrath having Hydro Pump, they never shield. So it's really good having Hydro Pump. So I swap into Gengar when they bring out their Magnezone. I shield the Wild Charge, and then they swap into an Empoleon, and I go for the Shadow Ball. And notice here, I don't have Shadow Punch, because I didn't get a good IV Gengar on Community Day, and oftentimes when I just go straight for Shadow Ball, people think it's a bait, and they don't shield it, which means I get the Shadow Ball through. In that case, they didn't shield their Empoleon, which meant I could take it out and win the game. Third match, and I met with another good lead, and maybe this opponent knew that Poliwrath can have Hydro Pump, so they immediately switched into Venusaur, and I'm going to sack my Snorlax, and I'm doing this and not trying to win switch advantage, because I know then that I can farm up a ton of energy with my Gengar. So I shield the first Frenzy Plant, and now I have a lot of energy, and they bring in their Charizard. I go for the Shadow Ball, and now I'm just gonna let the music play. is an absolute beast. Honestly, that's all I can say. And that's all I'm going to say. So, 4th match, and I get a very good lead of Poliwrath into Snorlax. And I go for the first Dynamic Punch. The thing is, I can't bait because I don't have Ice Punch. Instead, I have Hydro Pump. So they shield the first one. Now I don't have to shield this Body Slam. And then they swap into a Grand Ball. Now I go into Gengar. Can I make it to 2 Shadow Balls if they shield this? They do shield it. Will I be able to regain switch advantage? I shield a Crunch. Will Gengar be able to do it? Gengar makes it. The absolute boss of Ultra League Premier. Winning switch advantage at 1 HP. That way, when they bring in their Gyarados, I can bring in my Snorlax, and I have my Poliwrath lined up with their Snorlax. Now they switch into their Snorlax, I switch immediately to Poliwrath, and that one instance of the Granville versus Gengar matchup turned and flipped the game. Winning switch advantage is huge, and when Gengar can do that pretty easily if your opponent has little shields. So I'm not going to shield this, and I probably should have, because if it was a superpower, it actually might have took my Snorlax out, but I didn't shield it, which was a mistake by me. But when the Gyarados goes for the Yucca Tail, I can shield it up, and I still regain the match. So very well played my opponent, but Gengar just cannot be tamed, it cannot be held, and it absolutely demolishes everything with Shadow Claw and Shadow Ball. It's crazy how much damage it does. Anyways, in the last match, and it's Poliwrath versus Machamp. Now this is a bad lead. I go for the Dynamic Punch, and my opponent does not shield it, so it brings the Machamp pretty low. And then I don't shield this, thinking it's a cross chop, but it was actually a Dynamic Punch of their own. So it's fine. I can bring out Gengar and completely farm him down, and I shield this in case it's a Rock Slide. It is a Rock Slide, so correct call by me. And I shield it up. I have a Shadow Ball ready. I go for the Shadow Ball on the Dragonite. They shield it, so now I store up a little bit extra energy and then swap into my Snorlax. Seeing that they've built up a lot of energy and stayed in, I'm going to shield this. And it was an Outrage. So, another great call. And I go for the Body Slam, they don't shield it, and at 1 HP, they swap their Dragonite out to Lapras. So I'm going to go for Superpower, they don't shield the first one, and they're actually running Frost Bath. You definitely want to run Ice Shard. Maybe as a closer against other Dragonites, it would be optimal, but you really want Ice Shard. And when I go for the Superpower, I draw their last shield. I go for the Shadow Ball on Gengar, swapping out. I take out the Lapras right before they can get to a Surf. Out comes the Dragonite, 1 Shadow Claw, and it's a GG. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed watching, and today Master League starts, so I'll be doing a video on that soon, and I really hope you enjoyed, and make sure to subscribe and hit the like if you did. Peace out.